fade in. Inspiring horn music plays as a badge is portrayed heroically on screen in front of a black background. The badge is always slightly out of view. Finally, as the music begins reaching a crescendo, the front of the badge is shown reading Paul Blart Mall Cop. The music then takes a dark turn, as if implying some tragedy has occurred. EXT, Graveyard Day. The camera trucks right, moving from the shaded back of a grave to a funeral in progress. Mourners are gathered around a grave. The season is fall, and the trees are all leafless and dead. Cut to a top-down view of a coffin that is comically wider than normal being lowered into the ground. The mourners sob. The name on the grave is not yet shown. A bell sounds in the distance ominously. The camera pans over the various mourners surrounding the graves, all sobbing, until the camera stops on Paul Blart, wearing his mall cop uniform, quietly laughing to himself. The other mourners look at him seriously offended. Paul Blart looks embarrassed and attempts to explain himself. Paul Blart. It's not what you think. I was just remembering a joke that Leon had told me just before he died. The bell sounds again, and the camera cuts to a shot of the grave, with the name Leon Mixon, 36, and a picture of his smiling face. Leon was clearly overweight. Leon's mother sobs. Leon's mother. What was it? Paul Blart shakes his head, holding up both his hands. Paul Blart. It's really not appropriate. The camera cuts to show that there's children present at the funeral. The camera cuts back to Leon's mother. Leon's mother sobs, clearly wanting to know more about what her deceased son had said. Leon's mother. Please tell me. Paul Blart nods his head, spreading his arms lightly, clearly about to tell the joke despite its content. Paul Blart. Well, EXT, Graveyard Gates, Day. Cut to shot of Paul Blart's back as Paul Blart is thrown onto his face outside the graveyard, by unseen hands. Cut to camera shot facing upwards of Paul Blart face first on the ground with the gates behind him. As Paul Blart raises his head, the gates are slammed shut behind him. Paul Blart lays on the ground sighing, then pulls out a pixie stick from his pocket. He tears open the top and pours it into his mouth as if he is doing a shot, while looking determinedly forward. The music rises heroically once more. Cut to shot of what Paul Blart is looking at, in the distance, the West Orange Pavilion Mall. The title fades onto the screen, Paul Blart Mall Cop 3.